DY Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data. We know what you want because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Card Ladder. Join the innovators, not the imitators.
Hey guys, Bryan with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana as always. And I've got again, for the second time in 35 days, we got Jesse Craig from Acquir back on the channel. Today is about eye candy. Jesse and Acquir have 75 big ass cards. I don't know how else to describe them. That's what we say down here in Louisiana. Big ass cards. These are huge, high dollar cards, 75 of them. They're ending next Thursday on October 23rd on the Fanatics Premier auction. Jesse, welcome back to the channel. We lost Brock. Did you fire Brock?
Yeah, Brock. Yeah, Brock is an owner of the company, but I fired him. No, he after the Macau trade show, he stuck around in Japan with his wife for a little bit, so he's actually flying back from overseas right now. So I'm just finally starting to get over the jet lag, man. It's serious. It's like a 15-hour time difference.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We were just talking about the Acquir jet that you guys have, that you use.
Oh,
that you
yeah.
wrapped with the Acquir logo,
Yeah.
just like MJ does with the Tar Heels logo. Tell me, Macau. I keep hearing Macau. Is that in China?
It's in China. Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
yeah.
And it's a free part. It's basically, I would think of it as a newer Las Vegas. I mean, it's just casinos and big and beautiful. Most people speak English there.
Like Dubai, kind of like a Dubai in Asia.
Yeah, a little bit. Dubai is definitely bigger and but still very clean, very safe in Macau. You know, we had a great time. It was awesome. Great show too. Lots of big stuff on the floor.
How do you get to Macau from the United States?
Well, in Oregon, unfortunately, it's Portland International Airport, but there's not a lot of international flights out of Portland. So we had to, right. We had to go up to Seattle, and then you fly into Taipei, and then you take a plane down from Taipei to Macau.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that show, I think that shows was this second, maybe third year for that show? Third year. Yeah. And I know it's big time. You're going to see stuff come out of the woodworks you've never seen in your life. 100%. Even for guys like you that see everything, you may see some stuff you've never seen before.
There was some good stuff on the floor for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. So here's the plan. We talked about it a little bit before we hit the record button. I want to look at three monsters. We're going to look at a basketball card. Well, it just so happens to have Michael Jordan on it. We're going to look at a baseball card. Then we're going to look at a football card. And then what I want to do is I want to work our way from the bottom up. Instead of going top to bottom, we're going to go from the bottom backwards towards the top and look at some of the cards that are low-hanging fruit right now. Remember, y'all can ignore the prices on these cards right now. I've got them sorted by current bid. It doesn't matter, Jesse. You know that. Most people watching know that, but I want to reiterate that. It doesn't matter what the number is right now because we're still 6 full days. Yeah, almost a week out. All of the action happens in the last few days, but it might be a chance for you guys to get in, look at some of this low-hanging fruit, throw in some bids just in case. You never know what might stick. If you don't take your shot, you miss every shot you don't take, right? We know that.
Right. That's right.
All right. So let's do this. Let me screen share. And I don't want to alarm people, but what you're about to see on your screen is going to be a humongous Michael Jordan card. So here we go. Let's just start right here. And again, this is not my lane, but I know enough to know I don't know. And I'm going to let you talk about this card. Fanatics makes, and again, I'm familiar with the exquisite collection, obviously the product line. It's top of the line. And I'm also familiar with the emblems of endorsement. What I want you to talk about, Jesse, is, there's a designation on here that it's the gold ink signature. Talk to me about that, what that means, how this patch is different, and why this card's already at $650 without the BP factored in. This thing's going to push $1 million, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll close over $1 million. So this card, the 08 emblems of endorsement is what it's called. They started in 03, and ran through the exquisite products. This card's really special for a handful of reasons. One, it's the only exquisite card Michael Jordan signed in gold ink, right? So that's very, very, very important. And then the Chinese lettering, it actually means sky. So that's what that letter means, right? Air Jordan sky. But if you look at the symbol itself, if you go back to the actual image, it's an E frontwards and backwards, which is emblems of endorsement.
So this means something in English and in Chinese?
Yeah, the card is emblems of endorsement. So 2 E's, right? So if you look at it, it's a mirror image of an E. Yeah. And so the design of it was really special. And because of the Chinese lettering, a lot of the guys overseas have absolutely loved this set. Only numbered out of 10, so very exclusive. And while this patch it's one of the lesser patches. It's got one of the better autos. But if you find a 10 auto with a 3-color patch, which there are 3-color patches out there, they're going to be 2 million plus. And I know where 4 or 5 of them are, and they're all in collections that they're not going to move. Like a Nat Turner style collection is where they're at. So the chance to get one of these, it's never sold on the public auction block except for this one. This is kind of your chance.
Okay. What's the deal with tell me about the gold ink. Like, I want to understand that better. Are you saying out of the 10 out there, this is the only one that was signed in gold?
No,
or these 10 were the only?
They did in gold. Yeah. It's the only set from all the years of Exquisite that Jordan signed in gold ink. So that's what makes it really unique and special too.
You think it was intentional, or you think it was a mistake, or you think the silver one ran out? I mean, what do you think?
That's a good question. I don't know. But what I will tell you is, the gold ink is more common in UD black. Which still is an upper deck product. Yeah. But for some reason they did it this year for Exquisite for this individual insert. And it carries a lot of weight because of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an amazing story that you told about that card. Card graded authentic, which is, the number you're looking for is the 10 right below that, right? Autograph 10. Sure. That's the number that the Jordan collectors want to see on an Exquisite card. 50 bids already. So that just lets you know, like Jesse said, they're going to have dudes in Asia, some big old whales in Asia chasing this thing. You got guys in the U.S. I know there's some folks in Australia who go hard, guys in South America who do big business. This is a worldwide card that's going to be sought after by everybody. That's Grail number 1. Let's get to our baseball segment of the show, which is where I really kind of tap out. I know this guy, though. I know Derek Jeter. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, if I recall. NBA Silver sort of distinguishes this card. This is the one reason I don't collect baseball is because Derek Jeter's got like 7 years worth of rookie cards, right? But this is sort of recognized as the Derek Jeter rookie card. And apparently it's just freaking impossible to grade.
It is. It's the gem rate on this card. Actually I shot another video for content for this card recently. So I might butcher this a little bit. It's off the top of my head, but the gem rate is literally like 0.1% or less.
Yeah.
For a PSA 10. I think it's a pop 22 or something like that. And what's really unique about it is this is the only NBA stickered copy whatsoever of any of the PSA 10s. Yeah. Okay. So the reason for that is like that bottom left corner on the front, the blue, usually you see some white on there. That restricts a lot of PSA 10s, right? I think the pop on a PSA 9 is in the 2000 range or something. It's something crazy compared to the PSA 10s. Yeah. And then you've got the foil surface. There's just scratches and crap all over this card most of the time. So, it's really hard to find a PSA 10.
Yeah, man, those corners are filthy and it's all foil. And I knew the card's not rare. And we hear this in all different sports, right? The card's not rare, but damn, when you get into PSA 10, you get all the people that have to have the card and they have to say, I've got the best copy of it, all fighting for the same card. The card's at $250,000 already without the BP kicked in. Has this card come back to 2021 prices? What's the highest price ever paid for this thing? Do we know?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. You can look it up.
Let's look it up.
I know that they were trading at auction last. I think one sold for around where this is sitting. I think it's just over 300 in an auction recently. I expect this one to do 350 plus when it's all said and done because of the quality of it. And just like the Jordan, I don't think I mentioned, I think the Jordan will probably do like 1.2 that we talked about previously, somewhere over under 1.2.
There you go, Jesse. Back in 2022, which is definitely post-COVID boom. This thing did 600. You're talking about a pop 22. We're going to put your math skills to the test. 0.08. You overestimated. 0.08.
There you go.
Percent.
I was way off on the PSA 9 pop though. It looks like it's 633.
That makes it. I think that makes it even more ridiculous, right? There's 22 10s and there's 633 9s. Crazy. It's like, damn, 51,000 graded. I wasn't lying. I knew it wasn't a rare card, but this is the rookie card, and it's the one you want in the PSA 10. Indefinitely, it looks like it's trending in the right direction, Jesse. If we look at this card just over the last 2 years, you'll see 1, 2, 3 consecutive upward sales, ending in a $340,000 sale a little over a month ago. So this one seems to be trending in the right direction. And if we did some quick math on 20% of 260,000, that's another 50,000. So we're already around 310. So this thing's
about 310
cooking
right
with grease right now. This thing's moving, no doubt about that.
Yep.
Let's go to football. Okay.
Cool.
And I don't know much about football, but I do know about the essential credentials set. and I know about the future and the now.
Yep.
And Jesse, would you believe that this gentleman on the front of this card had the privilege, he had the honor of guarding me on the basketball court in 1992?
Please tell me you crossed him up.
Well, he didn't get close. My first step was out of this world. I was like a 6'4" white Allen Iverson around 1992. So everybody knew not to get close to me. Actually, we had a really good high school team. I'm going to get a little off topic here. And Peyton was on a team with a guy named Randy Livingston, who was the Gatorade co-player of the year with Jason Kidd, and then blew his knee out. He was going to be the next great one and never quite got there. But he was Gatorade player of the year, #1 ranked player in America. And so Randy did all the work. And it was really funny because Peyton Manning was the Gatorade player of the year in football, and Randy Livingston was the Gatorade player of the year in basketball at the same teeny tiny private high school in New Orleans. And so it was just a really weird kind of deal. And so Peyton Manning chose wisely. Let's just put it that way. His basketball game left a lot to be desired. In football, where is he? Where do you have him? In the grand scheme of things, if we've got to have Brady #1, where is Peyton? Well, how about this? Why is he not #2?
I mean, I got Joe Montana as #2 personally. Joe Montana's 4 for 4 in Super Bowls. I mean, I'm also a Homer 49er fan, so maybe there's a little bias there.
True.
But yeah, I've got Joe at 2. I've got Peyton at 3 personally.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes is
Working.
right there. Honestly, like he's already got 3 Super Bowls. Like he's right there. When it's all said and done, I expect Mahomes to be honestly #2 behind Brady. If he can eclipse Brady, I'll be happy for him. But surprised. It's hard to win Super Bowls, man. Like there's a luck that has to go your way, like things just have to line up in the game of football. A lot of it is avoiding injuries. I mean, that's what the Chiefs have struggled with the last couple of years is their injuries, right? Like Mahomes has had no weapons. And even this year, like he's leading the MVP race because he still has done so much with so little, right? They get Rashid Rice back this week. And so, obviously I think that they're going to have a lot of weapons and they'll be a lot better off. But health is everything in football, and it takes a little bit of luck sometimes to win Super Bowls. So Mahomes would have to continue to be lucky and good to get to Brady.
Yeah, and play forever.
Pretty much. I mean, football 41.
Yeah, right? Football, you're not running off 6 in a row. It just doesn't work that way with the salary cap. It's impossible. It'll never be done again. It's not going to happen, right? Same as basketball. It's just never going to happen again. You got to play forever and hope you got a pretty good winning percentage. This is serial numbered 1 out of 7. It is a Pop 4, none graded higher. So you're looking at the best possible PSA copy that you can get of this card. Is the essential credentials in football similar to basketball where does it add up to 81 for football as well?
Yeah, the numbering it's a little funky because normally the nows in basketball are the low numbered ones, and this one is a future and it's numbered out of 7. Yeah. So the now is actually numbered out of 50 something, 54 for Peyton, right?
74 or 74 probably.
I think his might be in the 50s for his.
Okay, so maybe they don't have the same
his now variation.
Yeah, they're inverted.
I don't think the runs as long in football as in basketball, but yeah, it's just a very the design and the way they did the numbering was much different than anything we've ever seen, and it makes for a lot of fun from a collecting perspective. I mean, look what obviously Allen Iverson we talked about him like he's got an amazing following and a great brand and people love him. But seeing an Allen Iverson card numbered out of 3 sell for $750,000 was crazy. Yeah. But that's because there's only 3 of the nows for basketball, right? And I can't remember who the 101 is. I think it might be Penny Hardaway. So it's like a jersey number. I can't remember.
Grant Hill is
it Grant Hill that's 101?
He might be, dude. I think he might be.
Or 1 and 2. I can't remember.
I feel like Grant Hill's one of those up there for sure. I'm not familiar because I'm not in the market for a serial number 1, 2, or 3. I'm not that guy. But look, anyway, I mean,
it's a fun set. It's a really fun set, and it's a rookie. Like it's kind of one of those perfect storm cards where you got a rookie serial numbered in the early, the insert mecca of trading cards.
Yeah,
of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Joe Montana. You don't get that. Even Brady doesn't. His lowest serial numbered rookies from the 2000s out of 25. You don't have any 10s, anything like that. So just having a rookie card numbered out of 7 for one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, it's just a really special card.
Are we starting to see some crossover, generally speaking, in the market? And you're always, shaking hands and making deals in the highest of the high-end market. Are we seeing some crossover from basketball collectors in the 90s starting to pick up some baseball and football pieces? Are we starting to see some of that? Is that
I think
why
so.
some of these football pieces that have parallels that are akin to the basketball are starting to rise a little bit?
I think so. And I think just naturally we're getting more people in the space collecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you're seeing that in the reflection of these values. Before off camera, we're still talking about how crazy prices are. And I know you're very transparent with your listeners about it and how, and everything that you do. But it's just got to be new people coming in because the base can't support
There's no
these
way.
prices anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're getting new guys in, which is great. It's a catch-22 though, because those OG collectors that want these cards at affordable prices, you're getting priced out at this point and you're having to look elsewhere. And it's unfortunate from that regard because I have many clients that are OG collectors that are frustrated with some of the pricing. But at the same time, it just shows you that they were right. So their collection is going to be worth a lot more money. It's just going to be harder to buy right now. Right.
Yeah.
But this card is just special. And I do think a lot of people are, I think a lot of money is flowing to the best of the best. I think that's really what it is. So low serial numbered stuff that's really hard to replace. That's where a lot of the funds are flowing to. And it makes sense because, if there's a card out of 100, you can probably go find one, right?
Yeah.
If there's a card out of 10 and it's popular, those might be locked up. It might be impossible to find. You might not see one for 5 years.
One every few
That's
years.
kind of what we're seeing here.
Jesse, answer this because there's a lot of conjecture out there. We've seen the syndicate story about buying 2 big cards over 8 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Of your client base, and your client base is pretty diverse. You got folks all over the world. You got some of the biggest collectors in the world that work with Acquir. What percentage, if you had to say, of your client base is not individual guys, not just human beings like you and me, like literally it's a group of people, or it's an LLC, or it's what they're now calling a card syndicate? What percentage of the folks that you work with are like that? I don't think it's as prevalent as people think it is. I think it gets a lot of attention.
I mean, look, we've had funds that have popped up over the last few years. Maybe 2% of our clients are, those kind of 2%, funds or people. That's what maybe less. I mean, it's not now. They spend big dollars, so it might account for a bigger chunk of our business from a dollar perspective. But the actual quantity of people, it's not as prevalent as people think it is.
I don't think it is either.
And I know Shine really well. I know, Matt and all of the stuff that they're doing over there. And these are really special pieces. And he's fully admitted, like, look, there's about 4 or 5 pieces that I paid out the ass for. Because it's the only way we could get them. And I'm worried that in 2 or 3 years, it's going to cost me even more money. So yes, we overpaid for them now. But we think we're going to be in a good position in a few years for them. And he's like, there's a ton of cards that don't get the publicity that these cards are getting, that we're buying, that we're getting at fair market value. Just these are the noteworthy ones that everyone's scratching their heads on. So why the hell they pay $10 million for a dual logo man auto of LeBron and Jordan that, most people might think is a $5 or $6 million card, not 10. But that's the only way they could get it. They tried to get another one from a guy who wanted 20. So it's just, and then, Matt knows where all these cards are. That's what he does the best. He's located these over the last few years. He's one of the biggest exquisite experts in the world. And also, having private conversations with him, this doesn't mean, and he's admitted, it doesn't mean that your 90s cards are, worth 2x. It's not, there's certain cards that
this is not the boat that's going to lift the tide. You're right. This is apples and oranges.
Yes.
Apples and
apples and exactly. 100%. So, I think people, and look, we deal with it, with what we do on a daily basis too. Someone's seeing those sales, wanting more for their cards, and have to kind of talk them down to earth a little bit and say, look, your Derek Jeter rookie is not worth more money because these Jordan cards went for a bunch. They're different buyer pools. They really are.
Yeah. And I get it, man. And I see those prices, and it's real easy for somebody on the sidelines to say that card's not worth that much. Well, the money changed hands, and it has to happen. And I'm doing something like that. And a lot of your clients are doing something like that on a much lower level, right? We're talking tens or 20s or 100, maybe even sometimes hundreds of thousands. I knowingly overpaid for 3 humongous cards yesterday. I know I did, because I haven't seen these cards in years.
Totally.
And if I didn't overpay, the seller would not let go of the cards. And now I step into the shoes, and I'm the guy that's not going to let go of these 3 particular cards, and we'll see how it fares. And maybe it'll fare well, maybe it won't. But
I'll give you a quick example from a sale that we did a year and a half ago. But look, it was a Jordan card. So, you know, the 84 Jordan Star PSA 9 that we brokered for $925
I remember
early last year.
Yeah.
Everybody was scratching their heads at that number,
It was
right?
a big jump. It was a big
because the last comp was a year and a half before in the 4s.
Yeah.
And it was a pop 1 when it sold. It was now a pop 3 when we bought the 1.9, and we paid, you know, we brokered it for a client and he paid $925 for it. That card's now worth over $2 million.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had multiple offers for in the high ones for that card.
Yeah.
You know, like we took a chance. We believed in the card, in the market, and, you know, the population, the supply, the demand, everything around that card. And so, you know, sometimes people are just ahead of the curve. And look, if there's one thing I'll tell you, Shine's usually ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, though. You never know. Nobody has a crystal ball.
No, that is a 100% fact. Let's talk about some of the guys at the bottom. So 75 cards that you guys have. I've got this thing sorted by price, but I want to go down to the bottom. Some of these cards are just lurking down here in the shadows.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a Yao Ming Prism Black 1 of 1. I don't know how many true Prism Black 1 of 1 Yao Mings there are. In Asia, as far as collectability and as far as demand goes, you've got Jordan, you've got Kobe, you've probably got Curry and maybe LeBron. I know Yao Ming's top 10. He might be number 5 on that list, man. He might not even be number 5. He might be 4.
Stephon Marbury's also a big guy.
Marbury's huge.
But yeah, Yao's following's massive. I mean, this card, it's sitting super low right now. It's going to do fine. Great card. And, you know, you can't go wrong. You know, 101s, Prism Black 101s are super hot right now. I know of a couple Kobe's that have sold recently, true Prism Blacks, that the numbers would blow your socks off for what they went for. We can't disclose them, but they're massive. I mean, 7 figures.
Jesse, tell me how it works with you guys disclosing or not disclosing prices from private sales. Is that just strictly up to both parties? You need the consent of buyer and seller to disclose anything. Is that just pretty much, it's just that simple?
That's it. Unless we have both parties agreeing to it, then the price does not get disclosed. So, and even if they both agree to it, but if they both say like, oh, I don't care, like we're not out there just spatting off what stuff went for. It's up to them to tell people, you know, every once in a while, you know, it makes sense, like the Jordan Star PSA 9 to publicize a comp because it was, you know, there's a reason, you know, for making the play or whatever it may be. And people might not believe it otherwise. You know, if you tell someone you sold a card for $925, that card might not have believed you. But it was real. And so there's certain times that, you know, you just publicize them. You want people to know what's going on in the market. And we do have an advantage where we are able to see a lot of comps and hear of a lot of, you know, buying and selling. And we have our finger on the pulse probably more than most because of that. Obviously, everyone has access to the auction stuff, you know, via card ladder data and whatnot. But the private market is where, you know, things can get interesting. And, you know, sometimes people overpay and they do it, like you said, for a reason.
We got a Dwayne Wade 1 of 1. We got Caitlin in here.
Dwayne Wade's a great card. That card right there. So, you know, base exquisite 101s. I mean, a Kobe just sold an auction recently for 6 figures. I mean, I would expect that thing to do 20K plus. So it's sitting super low right now. But yeah, exquisite 101s. I think D Wade in general is really underappreciated. He's an absolute stud. I still remember watching him get a triple double in the Final Four in college for Marquette. Like, just what an athlete, what a stud. 3 championships. You know, he won one without LeBron, right? With an aging Shaq, where he was the absolute man on that team. So, you know, very undervalued there.
Topps Dynasty is a huge deal now. Okay. So I collect soccer. I collect mostly the shiny stuff. But when I hear about patch autos and autos, in on-card autos primarily is what people are looking for, right? I hear about Dynasty and I hear about Flawless. And those are the two that sort of lead the way.
That's all they have. That's all they really have, right?
Oh, like, is that it? I don't know. Yeah. That shows you how much I know about autographs, right?
Well, that's the thing about Messi is like he doesn't have very many important cards. You know, you have 2015 sold a game autos, patch autos. Then the Momentous, which the Momentous, there's only 5 that exist. That for some reason they didn't make a 101 for him. They didn't make an out of 10, a 15. That's just 5. So the supply of his patch autos are really, really low. And it's basically you have Flawless and Dynasty, and that's kind of it. And so this card will do fine too. This is an absolute steal right now. Absolute steal. It'll go for 15 to 20K probably or more.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
Yeah.
the numbers, again, let's reiterate, the numbers don't mean a damn
They
thing
don't
right
mean
now.
anything,
It
yeah.
just happens to be the way that we sorted
Sure.
these.
Sure.
You got Jeter almost at bookends here. So you got
Yep.
foil that we saw that's already over, a huge number, $250,000. And now we've got the 1999 Jeter Star Rubies, another basketball parallel that exists in football and baseball. And this is from the 1999. These are serial numbered 2 out of 50. Where do you stand?
Jersey
Tell me
number,
about
baby.
the movement of the hobby, as far as accepting jersey number as being something that should add value. Obviously, people are still in denial. Like, I was the get off my lawn guy at the very beginning of this whole thing, maybe 4 or 5 years ago when it started. I was also resistant to the color match, right? The color match theory that, if the parallel matches the color of the jersey, that's a thing too. Now I have fully embraced that. So I've become a little more artistic. Talk to me about how much the jersey number adds as far as a premium goes.
It depends on the card.
Yeah.
But I think a way to look at it is, it's a way to find, more rarity within a specific card, right? And that's what people are looking for. Whether, there's cards, the 1 of 50 and the 50 of 50 get premiums as well.
Yep.
They're lesser than the jersey number. But jersey numbers on a card that's non-rookie, I would say it's usually about 1.5, right? So a 50% bump or so on the card. If it's a rookie jersey number, I mean, it can go 3x.
Yeah.
Because
We've
you
seen
think of an RPA out of 99, that jersey number, that's basically a 1 of 1. That's one of their most important cards. So, but then there's other factors that come into play. It depends if it's a patch auto, how nice the patch is. Because, we'll use 03 exquisite LeBron gold RPA, for example. Well, his gold RPA is out of 23. So the 23 of 23 is obviously a huge card. It has a napkin patch, unfortunately.
Oh.
I've brokered it twice.
Yeah.
And, if it had a 3-color patch, that would probably be, right now it's probably a $2 million card as a napkin patch. It'd probably be 5 or 6 million if it had a 3-color patch.
Crazy. Yeah.
Because because you talk about color matching. Why color matching is important is because of eye appeal. It's the aesthetics, right? Like, that's the sole reason that it's worth more money from a color matching perspective. And patches are no different. Patches, a napkin patch versus a 3-color patch for a normal card is, it's getting up towards 2 to 3x sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the aesthetics of the card.
Let me put you on the spot here. Kobe Bryant cards. Wearing jersey number 8 on the card, it's 24 out of 45.
Yeah.
Or wearing 24 on the card and it's 8 out of 30. Your thoughts? Yes or no?
It's all about the image on the card, whatever jersey number he's wearing then, right?
It's
so
settled.
It's absolutely settled. If you have a card, like, we'll use an example. So he changed his jersey in 2005.
Yeah.
So if you look at his numbered pieces, cards in Exquisite, they're numbered out of 8 and 03 and 04, and then they changed to 24 and 05 and to 09, right?
Yeah.
If you have let's say a limited logos from 04, which is out of 50, and it's a 2450, I would say it's cool that it's 2450. Maybe you give it a 10% bump because it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's not a true jersey number.
It's not 8. Right. Right. If you got to explain it, you shouldn't have to explain it.
Exactly.
It should speak for itself.
Now, what's interesting about that card, though, is because the limited logos have a big patch window, you only have an image of his head. You don't have a jersey image on there.
Okay.
But regardless, in 04, he wore 8.
Yeah.
So 24 doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I'm super excited to announce that BCW is an affiliate partner of the Cajun Cardboard brand. When you check out at BCW, use the promo code Cajun to receive 10% off of your order.
That's it. It's that simple.
Here's your guy, Joe, right?
Here he is.
Black Finite, 1 of 1. Black Finite's a really, really big deal in football and basketball. It's not quite.
I wish we could bid on our own cards. I want that card. That's a great card, honestly. Like, Black Finites, I think the finite design, I know that the true blacks, when you have both for a player, you have a black and then you have a finite the same year. I know the true blacks go for more. Aesthetically, the finites are way prettier.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yep. I love it. A colossal patch autograph Steph numbered to 5, the Kobe Noir Spotlight.
That Steph is criminally undervalued. That's a rookie patch auto out of 5 for Steph. Now, look, beggars can't be choosers. He doesn't have any game-worn rookies. I know it's not game-worn, but he has no game-worn rookies. And you look at his RPA that does easily in the 6 figures, kind of regardless of grade. Yeah. That thing is criminally cheap. I know it's a sticker auto too. I get it. But, that card should be – it's out of 5. It's a 3-color patch. Like, that card – I know it's sitting low now, but my goodness, that card should be worth more money.
Yeah. I think I might have lost my place. Yeah, I did. I knew I would do that.
Oh, you
All right,
blew it.
we're back. Let's keep rolling. And I wish we could talk about all of them, but we can't. We can definitely talk about this one right here. I have a vested interest in this. This is not my card, and I am not bidding on the card, but I have a PSA 10 copy of this exact card. So where this thing goes, I am going to pay very close attention to. I can pretty confidently say this thing's going into the 5-figure range based on what I know my PSA 10's worth and what I paid for it. So this is a tough one, man. This is it's one of those platinum medallions, Jesse, it's got ridiculous pack odds, but it's not serial numbered. And so I don't think it really gets the credit that it probably deserves, because there's not a, flashy serial number on the back with a
kind of like a jambalaya, kind of similar to a jambalaya, where it's just
Ultrastar's gold, same way. Ultrastar's gold's another one.
They are short printed. I mean, I don't know what the pop data is on, how many have been graded overall. I mean, we can see it's a pop 9.95. I'm kind of curious actually what the pop data says, but beautiful card too. And it's one of those cards too that is really hard to appreciate unless you have it in hand, because you don't get the shine from the lettering on the hollow foil. It's just aesthetically really pleasing in person. So only 51 cards have been graded. So this card is likely short printed to 100 or less.
For sure, because you got to understand, this card's been around for 29 years, Jesse. How many of these have been cracking crosses? How many of the 9.5s have been cracked and resubbed and came back again? So you see 9, it could be 4. Some of those 9.5s could have been cracked and they became 10s. Some of them could have cracked and came back a 9.5. Nobody turns the damn labels in. So again, with pop reports on little bitty population cards like this, it's just really hard. It's funny. It's funny to think about, like, Jesse, we talked about this card. It's been graded 51,000 times. And then now we're talking about this card, which has been graded 51 times. Isn't it funny, our hobby, how people prioritize stuff and how much grade matters and different things like that, and rookie this, rookie that, in the different sports. It's just fascinating to think about a $51,000 card at the top of the auction, a 51 printed, or at least 51 graded card at the bottom of the auction of the greatest team sports athlete of all time. So I don't know. It's weird. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, rookie versus non-rookie. There are obviously, there's a lot of 90s inserts to choose from with Jordan.
That's right.
So there's more money dispersed across all of those. You're kind of slim pickings. I know Jeter has multiple rookies over like 3 or 4 years, but but you're right. Like, it's the GOAT versus one of the greatest shortstops of all time,
for sure.
But yeah, it's kind of apples and oranges to an extent. But it is funny to see the grading differences for some of these cards and how condition sensitive they are.
Then, here's what I think are the 2 greatest soccer players that ever played, just happen to be on the same line. So we could talk about this. This is very convenient. That patch kind of stands out to me. In the soccer world, you got different folks out there. Some people love the club stuff. Some people love the international stuff, especially after Messi finally got his World Cup. Talk to me a little bit about this card. It comes from Immaculate Collection. And it's serial numbered 4 out of 4. Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, look, if this was game worn, it's not. If it was game worn, it's player worn. I mean, this card would be in the 6 figures. I mean, it's a really, really pretty card. Love the big patch window. The patch itself is sick. So I'm not sure if you wore this at a photo shoot or an event or before a match or whatever, right? There's no details around it, but it's not manufactured patch, which is good. So it's kind of in the middle tier as far as patch qualities go. But great card. Messi stuff continues to go up. And that Pele card too. I mean, one of the black finite 101s just did, I think, 170,000. And personally, I would rather have this card because he touched it.
He touched it. It's on card, man. It's flawless.
Beautiful auto on it. I mean, I expect this card to get this is going to be one of those cards. Watch closing night. This will get a ton of action. It's going to be very competitive. And look, part of the thing too, people need to realize with auctions, it doesn't really benefit you that much to bid early. Like, what the hell's the point?
Right.
Like these days, these auctions are open.
You're almost incentivized not to, Jesse.
Kind of, yeah. But that's why closing nights are so fun. You get all the action closing night. But it does make sellers nervous sometimes because cards are sitting super low. So you have to deal with the emotions of selling the card. And look, we get it. We sell some of our own stuff sometimes, and the emotions are there for us too. Like, God, I hope this gets some bids, because you never know. It's an auction, just like you mentioned earlier. Like, put in bids, right? You never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And as a seller, you don't know either. But that's kind of what makes it fun. You're rolling the dice a little bit.
Ship My Cards is your U.S. shipping address and secure storage facility. Every package is processed, photographed, and uploaded directly to your personal inventory. We securely store your collectibles until you're ready to ship them home or send them off to a buyer. With your membership, you save on postage and taxes, plus unlock access to exclusive collector services. Ship My Cards, your complete collector solution.
Yeah, no doubt. Jesse, talk me through this scenario. Folks, these are not your cards. People are coming to you. They trust you to consign these cards, to market these cards, and that's what we're doing here. When people come to you with a card and you look at the card, and obviously they're soliciting advice from you because you've been there, done that a million times over throughout your career. Before, when you were working at an unnamed company, and then now as the head of Acquir, you've been in there and you've seen it all. They come to you, they've got a card. Let's say the card's you think it's probably worth $9,000. And they say, Jesse, I want this card to go into the Fanatics October premiere auction. Talk me through that conversation and how you kind of speak to your clients when it comes to, you may advise them, hey, look, this may be better as a big fish in a smaller pond, maybe in weekly auction 197, instead of putting it in October. Talk me through that go-between and how you kind of handle those types of situations. Who ultimately makes the decision? I mean, obviously, Fanatics can tell you no. Obviously, they can say this is not big enough.
Starting to crack down on.
Which they should. I think they should.
Because 100%. And sometimes, we've been able to kind of pass the buck to them to make the ultimate decision.
Okay.
But what you just said is exactly the conversation. It's like, look, if you want my unfiltered advice, I would much rather be at one of the top tier cards in weekly than one of the lower end cards in premier. If you have a card, and I would say it's even like 15K or so or below, like we have cards that sell for 30, 40, 50, 100 grand in weekly auctions.
Sure.
Right.
I've done it.
The buyer pool.
People second guess me. That's why I'm asking. I need you to help me out here.
Buyer pool in weekly auction. Well, this is one thing to consider too. Weekly auctions, you consistently have people coming there every Sunday night knowing that there's an auction closing. It's like clockwork, right?
Yeah.
The premier auctions, you have one a month, but it's on sporadic, it's on a Thursday once a month. But everyone shows up for both. I think that's really the reality of the situation. And I do think, though, that in premier, people get caught up a little bit watching the auction because of the big items and the big numbers. And actually things do slip, the lower end stuff kind of slips through the cracks a bit, where in weekly, the better cards are seen by everybody.
Yeah.
And you have actually more participants in their bidding, where one of the things we talk about is the psychology of bidding. It's like, if you actually bid on a card and you're involved in the bidding process, you can get emotionally invested in it. Right. So that's why I think you have more bidders, a bigger bidder pool. More people are approved for weekly auctions than premier. You have more people participating in the actual auction itself. There might be someone who's normally a 5 to 10K guy that is not approved for premier that is approved for weekly, where if that card ran in weekly, he could bid on it, but he actually can't premier.
That's right.
So I mean, we run stuff, and to be fair with one of your comments, some of these cards are ours, just to be clear. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah.
By inventory, like this Jordan, for example, this 9.5 is ours. We bought a Jordan lot from a guy, and because we'll buy out collections and stuff like that if people, they need liquidity, and then we just typically run them at auction or put them on our site. But so we go through the same thing with ourselves. Like this Jordan card, we expected to do 15 to 20K. Maybe we were wrong, and maybe we should have put it in weekly. So there's no perfect answer. Like we try to give our best advice to people. We try to give our best advice to ourselves. And sometimes you get it wrong, and that's just the reality of the situation. We talk about not having a crystal ball. Well, we don't either.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and people have asked me this, and we should just get it out in the open. When you list when one of our cards, meaning mine or yours or Brock's or whoever, when we put our cards into Fanatics, and I sell a lot on Fanatics, you cannot bid on your own card.
No.
That doesn't mean that some people can't, if they really want to go out of their way to manipulate it, they certainly can get someone else to do their work, right? But you cannot, in the interface in your account, go in there and bid on your card for sure.
Straight out. It's great.
So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. And I would hope, I would hope that's the same for every auction house. I don't know for sure, but I know for sure on Fanatics, because sometimes I forget. This is what's really funny.
I don't know if it's the same at Golden, honestly.
Yeah, I think it probably is. But what's funny is, like, I'm so old, man. Listen, I'll have like 50 cards in an auction, and I'll I'll be looking in the auction for cards I want to buy, and I'll see one of my cards, and I'll go to bid on a card that I'm selling, and I'm like, number one, what the hell's wrong with me? How old am I? I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just like to buy and sell cards, and then I realize, I can't bid because it's the card I'm trying to sell. So it's like, why am I selling this card if I wanted to buy it? It doesn't make any sense.
I'm telling you, back when I was at PWCC, I mean, we have guys that are like whales that there's no reason for them to ever bid on their own shit.
Yeah,
and they do every once in a while, because the same thing you just said, they forgot it was their card because they buy and sell so much. They have like a guy that works for them that handles a lot of their cards. So they kind of forget what they're buying and selling. And obviously they owned it, so they liked it for a reason. And then they bid on their own card. And like you see because we had a trust team that would flag bids and stuff like that.
Sure.
And then you have to reach out to the client and be like, dude, this is your card. You can't bid on that.
Yeah.
And that's why now
you can't. Now you literally can't.
Right. Place you physically cannot do it. Exactly. Exactly.
So this one I can talk about because I just did an auction preview. This card, there's going to be another one of these, also PSA 10, ending on the same night next week. So that'll be interesting to watch. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be on Alt. So Alt's got one on Thursday. This one will end on Thursday.
How's the netting? Because the netting being clear, really
round. Yes. Trust me. Yes. And I should honestly pull up mine because mine is a PSA 10, and then it does not look like this. So this is
netting
clean.
has a little color on it.
But absolutely, absolutely.
This one's really clean.
Noticeably better than my copy, but mine is a 10 as well. And so it's almost like the Dunkin' Go Nuts and the Titanium and some of these others where the Kobe Chrome Refractor Rookie, don't just look at that number on the label. You got to look past that number. But that net assets and PSA 10 is a big time card right there.
I know Tawny's a sleeper too. That's a big
right here.
That's, I believe, his first bat knob ever.
Okay.
Big 101 bat knob. I mean, he's going to go down as one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Well, no kidding.
And I mean, the guy is so the fact that he can pitch too, it's just insane. Like, you don't see that ever anymore. And the Dodgers are such a good team too. He's been struggling in these playoffs a little bit, and they're still winning games.
Yeah. This one's I don't even need to talk about this because the folks that need to know about it already know that it's in the auction. So we're not even going to talk about it. We know Marino is going to do great. Yep. And this is the essential credentials now. So Marino's in the other end of the checklist, obviously, than the Peyton Manning that we looked at, because Marino's now is the little number and Peyton Manning's future is the little number. So that explains that.
It must have been I think the vets got
that might be it.
He was a rookie, and so maybe he was put in the kind of the opposite end of it because he hadn't proven himself yet. Yeah. That's the only thing I can come up with.
There's only so many of these, Jesse. There's only so many of these. Topps Chrome football ended when? 2011, 10?
It had to be 2009.
9. Okay, so Topps Chrome football ended in 2009. I don't know if they had black every year of Topps Chrome football. I'm almost certain they did not. I don't know enough, right? But there's only so many black refractor Tom Brady Topps Chrome. One of ones. I'm sorry. This is the black refractor serial number 599. I should know this, right? Because I collected basketball back then.
I think this was first year Topps Chrome in football. Is it
in football?
It might have, like, where they started serial numbering the cards. I can't recall. I mean, look,
way out of my lane.
We know a little bit about a lot. But these collectors.
I know a little bit about a little when it comes to. I know almost nothing. I know who the best fantasy. I know who the best fantasy running backs were in the 90s, but I don't know anything about any cards for any players in football. Obviously, by my.
I will say this: I'm almost positive this is first year Topps Chrome for Brady. I just don't think he had a 01 or a 2000 Topps Chrome. I think it's first year for him.
And that's a PSA 10
too.
Pop 14.
Yep.
We're at the 42-minute mark. Let's wrap it there. Anything else you want me to pull up real quick before we finish? Was there anything specific you wanted to chat about, card-wise, or anything like that? I mean,
all I would say is, this auction is pretty unique. We had a few collectors that are, they're consolidating and they're buying a few really big cards, and they let go of a handful of 101s or really low serial numbered 90s cards. Like, we have some really good PMG reds in there. I think we have a T-Mac PMG red rookie.
Lonzo, Chris Mullen, I saw.
Yeah, and they're all really good quality too. He collected like gold sticker MBAs, so I think they're all gold stickered. And then a lot of really, really great baseball credentials cards in this auction. So there's a lot of 90. If you're a 90s guy, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, our consigners kind of came out of the woodwork and put a lot of good stuff in this auction. So I think they're, arbitrage wise, there could be some good plays there to find some good deals, because there's a lot in one auction. But regardless, man, this is going to be dollar wise the most we've ever done in a premier auction. Less cards than we've had before. We've been in the 90s before, but some really big cards. Obviously, that Jordan, the Jeter, the
huge already,
the Curry RPA, the Manning. We've got some big cards in this auction. Curious to see what the Platinum Portraits does of Jordan PSA 10. We can talk about that. So great auction, great quality, and Thursday night next week should be fun.
What's next for the guys that acquire? What's the next show that you guys have on your schedule? What are we, October 17th? I don't even follow because I only
it's the 17th. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, so I know the date.
Oh, congrats.
Easily. Yeah.
Okay.
I think our next show is actually going to be the Philly show in December. November's a hard month for us. We're traveling for some other work stuff. But I'll say this here first. We're going to be launching in the next week a trade capability on our website.
Very nice.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's going to be a game changer for us. Should get a lot more inventory on the site.
You're going to get inventory, Jesse. Yeah, come back on the channel and let's talk about that. You're going to get a lot of inventory on that, and we'll talk about pricing and fees and maneuverability and how quick and efficient and consistent.
Well, what's going to be really unique about our trade platform is, look, we talk about us being kind of concierge, white glove service for the space. It's not going to be like a VeriSwap or whatever where you're going to get lowball crappy offers. We're actually vetting all of them before they go through to the end user.
I love that.
So we don't want to waste people's time. And trading, it's really hard to kind of police trading unless you're really in it and you're policing it. I mean, and I just don't want lowball offers being sent to guys. So look, it's all about, our website also is not eBay. It's not, you don't put cards on there and ask ridiculous prices. You can talk to our clients. We've not listed stuff on our site before if they want too much money. Yeah. Right. We don't want to waste our time.
It turns into a graveyard, man, and people ignore it. Remember PWCC used to be that way with the buy now marketplace or the fixed price marketplace. I didn't even look at that shit, man, because stuff was 10x. It was
way
stupid.
Overpriced. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So once we get it up and running, it should be within the next week or two.
That's exciting.
I'm happy to jump on with you and we can talk about it, go over the mechanics of it. But pretty simple. There'll be cards available on the site. You can propose cards for trade that aren't even listed on your account. That's just cool. Put in images, you put in estimated values plus cash, and you propose a trade.
That's really
cool. And then you get a response. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Very exciting stuff, and really sounds good. Guys, everything that you saw on this video today, and we couldn't get through all 75 cards in 45 minutes. We just couldn't. It's there. You can't miss it. I'm putting a link directly to Jesse's 75 cards, Acquir's 75 cards that are under their filter. The filter is going to be over on the left. Reminder, that link is going to be the very first thing you see in the description to this YouTube video. The cards that we talked about today, this October Fanatics Premier Auction ends next Thursday evening. It'll be fast and furious. Jesse and Brock will be cuddled up under a blanket with a hot cup of cocoa, watching the auction unfold together.
And I'm gonna have a glass of wine, man.
Wine, yeah, my bad. Wine, yeah. We could be rich and spoiled like LeBron and take baths in wine, right? It's supposed to be good for the skin and the joints, but
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd have to be some cheap ass wine for me to.
Or some Boone's Farm or something. Yeah,
yeah, some Boone's in there. Put some strawberry Boone's in there. We'll take a bath in that. That's it, guys. Next Thursday night, keep your eyes open. If you got any questions, Jesse's incredibly easy to reach out to. You can find him individually on Instagram. You can also reach out on Instagram to Acquir. You can also comment in this video. I'll make sure y'all get in touch if you wanted to consign stuff or have any questions about any of the cards that we did look at today. I'm sure Jesse or Brock or some of the guys at Acquir can answer those questions. Jesse, thanks again for joining, man. We'll do it again, hopefully in a couple weeks when you get that trade option up and running on the Acquir website.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Always fun.
Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Good luck bidding using that link in this description. Good luck bidding. There's some big dog cards in this thing ending next Thursday. And peace.